Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So today we are playing some Pure Spice. I came across this deck list online and it's utterly wild, so we're going to give it a go. I have no idea if it's good or not, but it's some Dimir basically swapping control of stuff with your opponent. So it has that kind of Archfiend of the Dross Metamorphic Alteration combo that we've seen in other videos as part of the deck, but it also has Demonic Pact and various ways of giving that to your opponent. So most specifically, Coveted Falcon, which is a new card from Murders at Karlov Manor. So this is a 1/4 with flying. It's an artifact creature bird. Whenever it attacks, gain control of target permanent you own but don't control. It has Disguise of 1 and a blue, and when it's turned face up, target opponent gains control of any number of target permanents you control. So essentially we can kind of get the value out of our Demonic Pact, play this, turn it face up, and then just give them the Demonic Pact in time for it to trigger, and they lose the game. So similarly with the Archfiend of the Dross, you turn one of their creatures into a copy of Archfiend. It doesn't have the oil counters on it that it does when it enters the battlefield, and then on the next upkeep they lose the game. So that is essentially the idea behind the deck. It's kind of those two combos smashed into one. And various kind of support cards around it. So we'll just run through the rest of the deck now. So it is a Yorion deck, so we are running 80 cards. But we have Thoughtseize just to kind of hit the opponent's hand, and Hopeless Nightmare doing a similar sort of thing. Just keeping the opponent on their toes, disrupting them a little bit while we kind of set up our various combos. Then we have some bounce spells if we need them, so that we can kind of return our Demonic Pact or our Archfiends or whatever it may be if we need to. So Alchemist Retrieval is a one mana bounce spell for a non-land permanent that we control, and potentially a 2 mana bounce spell for anything else. Fading Hope does a similar thing, just returning a creature to its owner's hand. Then our 2-drops are the Metamorphic Alteration that I talked about earlier. We've also got Tithing Blade, so this is again a good way of just slowing the opponent down. Wishclaw Talisman's an interesting one, so this is a kind of a demonic tutor style effect. So it enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. We can pay 1 and tap it to remove a wish counter on it, search our library for a card, put it into our hand, then shuffle. An opponent gains control of it. So we can do that and then try and bounce it potentially, kind of get that value off it without having the opponent being able to use it. Even Heartstabber, so this is a good kind of creature for slowing down the board. It's a 1/1 with flying, but if there are 5 or more mana values among cards in our graveyard, it gets +2/+2 and has Death Touch. Then we've got Wail of the Forgotten, so this is a sorcery with Descend, so we can choose one of its modes, but if there are 8 or more permanent cards in our graveyard, we can choose 1 or more, so we return any non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Again, that effect that is on so many of these cards. Target opponent discards a card, or we can look at the top 3 cards of our library and put one of them into our hand and the rest in our graveyard. So this has kind of multitude of different uses depending on what's going on in the game at that particular point. Then we have our Coveted Falcons at our 3-drop slots. We have a Baron Tolarian Archmage, which similarly allows us to bounce one creature or planeswalker, and if it's our own, we do get to draw a card. Filter Out, again, this just bounces everything that's a non-creature, non-land permanent, so helps us get our Demonic Pacts back. Elspeth's Nightmare, just a good way of disrupting the opponent again, killing their early creatures, disrupting their hand. Liliana of the Veil, again, just a good mid-range threat. And then we have Atrata, Deadly Fugitive, so this is another new card. 1/4 with Death Touch for 3. It says face down creatures you control have 2 blue-black. Turn this creature face up. If you can't exile it, then you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So essentially, if we've cloaked a non-land card, we can then just turn it face up, regardless of what it is. And whenever an assassin you control deals combat damage to an opponent, cloak the top card of that player's library. So essentially stealing stuff from them as well, and then of course that helps with our Even Heartstabber, which is an assassin in itself, so just a little bit of cool synergy there. Then we have some more good cards at 4-drop, so we have Teferi, Master of Time, so this is again a good way of just getting cards into our graveyard, drawing through our deck, kind of getting to the combo cards that we need. as well as our Archfiends. We've got 3 Demonic Pacts, which I've spoken about. A Languish as mass removal, a mass removal that doesn't hit Archfiend specifically. Shieldred the Apocalypse, seen this many times before, and then 3 copies of Beseech the Mirror, which is obviously a very good card at just getting us where we need to be in terms of our combos, fetching stuff from our library. Obviously, we can sacrifice things like Hopeless Nightmare or Wishclaw Talisman or Tithing Blade just to help us get the bargain effect and put that card straight into play. So that's very, very handy. And then we just have 1 Ashiok Nightmare Muse as our kind of top end 5-drop Planeswalker, very powerful, not only creating a lot of creatures but potentially bouncing things as well. That is. I mean, as I say, it's a totally wild deck list. I have no idea how it's actually going to perform, but it's interesting nonetheless. Then we have a fair number of dual lands, as you'd expect. I think we're running 31 lands, so a decent number of dual lands here, including 4 Undercity Sewers. So Surveil lands are very good in a deck like this, just helping fill up the graveyard, getting rid of cards we don't want. Then we've also got Temple of Deceit as well for some scry value. A few colourless lands with Demolition Field and Blast Zone, just again to help us slow the opponent down. Some basic lands, a few utility lands, and a couple of creature lands as well. So you can kind of peruse those at your leisure in the deck list. Then in the sideboard, obviously 1 slot is taken up with Yorion. We have a Spell Pierce, a Fatal Push, a Test of Talents, which is a good way of just removing any kind of combo-ish effects or powerful instants and sorceries that the opponent's trying to do us with. Bitter Triumph, again, more removal. Ice Out, so this is a fun bargain spell that is essentially counterspell if you're able to bargain it, so we can bring that in, again sacrificing our cheap artifacts or enchantments. Path of Peril, mass removal, again that doesn't hit some of our important creatures. Treacherous Blessing helps draw us cards and then can be sacrificed fodder later. Ashiok is a good way of just disrupting what the opponent's trying to do. Then we have Crucible of Worlds, which we can use to bring back lands from our graveyard. So if we've milled too many or we want just that additional value, then we can bring in Crucible of Worlds. Consuming Tides, this is a fun one. Each player chooses a non-land permanent they control, and then you return all other non-land permanents not chosen this way to their owner's hands. Then you draw a card for each opponent who has more cards in their hand than you, so that's quite a good fun way of just getting rid of all of the stuff from the board. Again, resetting our Demonic Pact or whatever it may be. Then a couple of ley lines, so Leyline of the Void to hit the opponent's graveyard, and Leyline of Anticipation just to give us that kind of extra instant speed ability. If we feel like our combos are in danger of being interacted with, if we try and do them at sorcery speed, then we can cast spells as though they had flash. So this is the deck. Dimir Falcon, Dimir... I don't know what you want to call it. I mean, Demonic Pact, Dimir Dross, Dimir Falcon, Dimir just give your opponent stuff or watch them lose the game. It's whatever you want it to be. But it's a fun deck list, so let's see how we go on with this. Thank you very much for watching. As ever, hit those like and subscribe buttons. Always appreciate the support. And let's go on to the ladder. Okay, let's make a start. Yeah, I think this is a decent enough opening hand. Kind of does a few things. Would be good to have a alteration of some kind. A bounce spell for our Archfiend. Yeah, I'll keep Beseech the Mirror here, just because we might draw something that will be good to get rid of with it, to just go and get what we need. Even Heart Stabber it is. So it's just a 1/1 flying at the moment, but will give us that value if it dies. So, Botanical Sanctum's interesting. Could be Merfolk or some sort of flash deck. So let's send in the Heart Stabber. Well, let's play our Falcon face down so we can turn it up, face up as and when we want to. and potentially just hand off our Archfiend of the Dross. Okay. Oh, fine. Okay, so they're doing sort of Lotus Field style things. So I could play Archfiend here, but I'm happy to slow roll for a moment, I think. Get rid of that so they don't get the value. Then I think we're heading towards playing Archfiend next turn, attacking and then just waiting with Beseech the Mirror. Okay, that's fine. So let's send in the creatures, play Archfiend, and now I think just wait and see what they do. Okay, so they're trying to sort of Lotus Field combo without hidden strings. Okay, I buy it. I don't like it, but I buy it. Yeah, okay, so they've got double Vizier here, so they're building up to probably a Pore Over the Pages or something similar. Sylvan Scrying is a fine card. Hopefully they'll just play their... Yeah, okay, good. We could just kill them now, so that is a welcome development. But just in case it, for whatever reason, doesn't work, let's just send in the creatures. Now we'll Beseech the Mirror. We'll sacrifice our Blade. Go and get our Metamorphic Alteration, which should be in here somewhere. There we are. Target a creature. Choose a creature. Yep. Okay, very good. So this is going to be classic ships passing in the night, given what the opponent's playing. So let's have Emergent Ultimatum usurp your library. So let's put in Ashiok. Spell Pierce, Test of Talents, and Ice Out. Just put in as much as possible that disrupts the combo, I think. Anything else? Anything else? Treacherous Blessing is fine. Consuming Tide, no. Crucible of Worlds, no. Yeah, it's fine. What shall we get rid of? 5 cards to cut. 5 cards to cut. I don't think we need Languish here. Let's get rid of Filter Out. And then I don't really want to risk giving the opponent wishes in this matchup. Now, we have probably enough ways around that, but let's not give Lotus Field combo any more ability to search its own library. Yeah, I've not tried Lotus Field without hidden strings. I think everyone's just waiting for hidden strings before I try it. Just, yeah. Presumably that will be in Pioneer Masters, but... Okay. Well... Because we've got... This is actually good because we've got Test of Talents, and our Beseech can eventually go... I mean, it's a little bit on the, like, yada yada side, but... I don't think we need another Heart Stabber. want things I can sacrifice to beseech or other stuff. Okie dokie. Shame we can't counter that, but the Thespian stage is interesting. So well, let's hit them with a Hopeless Nightmare. Play another Temple. And just wait it out a little, I think. Because this will be Lotus Field turn, yep. Now I think we just wait with our test of talents. Yeah, that's fine if that's all they want to do this turn. It's A-OK with me, so Thoughtseize is a good draw, so let's hit them with that. Well, let's take their paw over the pages here, just because it kind of leaves them with nothing to do. Although I'm going to have to keep an eye on them hard casting this.
I will burn Phyrexia to ash.
Omniscience. So I could just make them discard both their cards here, but then Chandra's +1 would be a little on the rough side. This is tough. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's just play Demonic Pact. Oh no, that doesn't work. Look, whoops. I always forget that doesn't work when it enters the battlefield. Okay, well, we're dead. Well, let's not do that again. We'll just keep the configuration of the deck the same, I think. Yeah, this is fine. Ashiok's pretty good here. Let's get rid of Alchemist's Retrieval. I don't think this hand really requires it at this point. Might be able to hit a Sylvan Scrying or something here. Oh god, that's a terrible hand. Okay, let's take their Balagat Recovery because it's their only coloured land. Cheeky beggar. Well, neither of us have lands, so it's not just a me problem. No, let's hold on to this for now. Well, it's not going well. No. Good, good, good. Okay, well, let's get rid of this now. Just because it forces them to discard 2 cards. Okay. So, let's play Ashiok. Because then they can't search with Sylvan Scrying. Da-da-da. Play Liliana now.
When I win, you're telling me what you know.
Let's get rid of Demonic Pact.
I leave you with one last nightmare.
Okay, they're impulse drawing now, so we are going to have to do something at some point. But as long as they can't search their library, that is A-OK with me. Get rid of Falcon here.
Drop it.
Just keep eating at their library. It just makes it more difficult for them if they have less to...
This is my masterpiece.
Now we'll play Teferi, Master of Time.
Let's make this quick. Don't worry, I'll think of something.
Alteration can go here, I think. Fine, fine, fine.
Think fast.
Yeah, let's just get rid of Beseech the Mirror. Oh, well, let's keep eating away at their library.
Behold, my everlog of fear.
I do love a good puzzle.
Won't activate Liliana right now, because I think they're going to pour over the pages. I do wonder whether their deck can even work without Emergent Ultimatum doing a thing for them. Okay, well, let's counter that. Okie dokie.
Ideas like science are thinking.
That's a shame, I would have liked that.
Time to improvise.
I don't want that right now.
You won't be outsmarting me.
It is really very funny. Sure thing. They've only got 22 cards left in their library as well. Ashiok's done some good work for us here. And we can phase out their creatures if we particularly want to. 19 cards in their library. So if they play anything too problematic, I can just phase it out. Suppose if they're able to go and fetch Approach of the Second Sun, that might work. Yes, you may have an Omniscience. You still can't search your library, though.
No more watching. It's time to do something.
Although if they kill Ashiok, they will be able to search their library. I'm still not convinced they've got enough of their library left to actually win the game. Let's find out, shall we? Yep. What an interesting game of solitaire we're playing.
This is for everyone we've lost to Phyrexia.
Interesting. Okay.
Ideas like seconds.
I'm gonna ditch Yorion here. I think I'd prefer Hopeless Nightmare.
I do love a good puzzle.
Okay, let's... This is interesting. So I could bounce their Omniscience here. And see if they actually have the mana to replay it. I think that's fine.
You can't slow me down.
Get rid of another one of their cards.
Don't overthink things.
I'm not persuaded they can win the game from here at all. They can add mana, they can play Omniscience, but unless these cards in their hand are anything good. What have we got rid of anyway? So we got rid of their Leer. And their Mastermind's acquisition.
Got a feeling this will work.
Okay.
Now or never.
I mean, I'll give this to them. They're very resilient. But at some point they are going to run out of cards. Well, they're down to 10 cards in their library. What could they possibly have? Yeah, sure. 7 cards. Four cards. I mean, Emergent Ultimatum's not going to do much for you here. Yeah. Sure. Take 2 extra turns after this one seems like a good shout. I do hope this is fun for you at home, as is it? Because I'm enjoying myself. I mean, how does Emergent Ultimatum work when you have 4 cards in your library? No, not Shieldred. Okay. Well, let's take 2 extra turns after this one.
Here's a
That's neat.
use of time.
Let's kill their Chandra. Now we can play Whale of the Forgotten on all 3 modes, so farewell to you. Yep. Well, I screwed up game 2 there, but that was a lot. Whatever it was a lot. And I had fun. Okay, that was a bit of a marathon, that match, but we got there in the end. Yeah, this'll do. Take a sneaky peek in the opponent's hand. Okay, so they're running the, Ugh. That's really quite annoying. Okay. So with the claim in their hand... am I taking the Hoplite anyway? What else have I got in my hand? Whale of the Forgotten doesn't really help us here. Yeah, let's just take the Hoplite and force them to use the claim now. Be good to have a removal spell, but... Ah, interesting. Okay, well, I'll take that. Well, let's whale and look at the top 3 of our library. Liliana's a pretty good shout here. Okay. Well, got an endless number of 4-drops, so...
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when people... Off you go.
Hopefully we'll draw a land next turn, otherwise we're in quite a lot of trouble. That is not a land. I think I'm super dead here. In fact, I'm so dead I'm going to concede. Okay. Let's put in a Fatal Push, Bitter Triumph, Path of Peril. Just as much removal as we can get our hands on. What are we taking out here? These are actually not bad for bouncing the opponent's stuff. Filter out, I don't think we need. 3 more cuts, 3 more cuts. Tithing Blade is probably okay while we're on the draw. Whale of the Forgotten isn't very good. Sorcery Speed, and we'll get rid of Ashiok as well. Let's do it like that. Ugh. Nope. This is better. So let's pop back Heart Stabber for now. Get rid of Thoughtseize. Okay, well... let's kill that straight away. Then we have Liliana for a follow-up creature. Do they have two creatures is the question. They do, okay, that's quite annoying. But we do have our combo about to pop off, so...
Enough with the mysteries.
we just need to survive
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
a couple of turns and also draw a land. Ignoring Liliana, are we? Okay. That's not good. Okay. Let's discard one of our Archfiends. Go to the opponent's turn. At least we have a bounce spell here. That's super interesting. Okay. Alright, let's send that back to their hand. Well, that's quite annoying, isn't it? I'll just take my punishment here. Okay. Still need a land, but we are holding our own here. Showdown? Yep. Still no flippin' land. Okay, well, let's pop Yorion in our hand. Tick up, discard Yorion.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Are we dead? We feel pretty dead, don't we? Because they can claim and then fame and then just monstrous rage their creature. Yeah, no, we got screwed over by lands there. That's very disappointing. Oh well, let's move on. Okay, we're on the draw this game. I think because we have Scry lands, this is a keep, but and actually Wishclaw Talisman and Alchemist's Retrieval is pretty good here. No. No to you, you should have been there on turn 1. You weren't, I don't want to talk to you. Okay, Well, let's send that back to their hand. Okie dokie. Well, let's have a hopeless nightmare. Pop Wishclaw Talisman into play. That's annoying. Sadly, I think I'm going to need my retrieval here, so let's do another scry. Pass the turn. Sure. Ooh, a Darksteel Citadel. That is annoying that they got that off the top of their library. Send that back to their hand. Is Ashiok actually any good here? I don't think so, so let's just activate Wishclaw Talisman. Go get Archfiend. Play it. This at least holds them off for 5 seconds. Okay, turns out it doesn't. Yeah, I wasn't anticipating this deck being very good, but that is an annoying state of affairs. Path of Peril, Bitter Triumph. Yeah, put in all of the removal. Wishclaw Talisman's fine here, I think. Demonic Pact. It's probably a bit on the slow side, just because I don't think we're going to have enough turns to do all of that, so let's just get rid of some of that. Okay, and off we go again. I will need some land. Thank you. Yeah, let's keep all of these and pop back. Probably Hopeless Nightmare here. I think everything else is quite good. Yeah, I'll keep Besiege the Mirror. Ace of the Filched Falcon. Sure thing. And another Thraben Inspector. Okay, take the one. Let's make them sink their mana into that at some point. Play the old Coveted Falcon. Okay, we'll take 6 here. Stick Yorian in our hand, I think. Pass the turn. So what they want to do with their 3 mana here. That's quite annoying. Okay, well let's play Archfiend, because I think either this lives or we just die, so... If they don't have a removal spell for Archfiend here, then that's pretty good news. I'm gonna make you have it. Fair enough. Well, gets rid of their creature at least. That is the wrong land. What am I doing here? I think I've just got to pass. I thought we have been properly screwed over by the way we've drawn in these last couple of matches, which is a shame. Okay, sure. Seems fair. Okay, let's send that back. Don't want Demolition Field. Gonna have to block here and take 6. So let's play Ashiok. Bounce that. Pass the turn. I'm still dead, but... Oh well, never mind. As suspected, this deck isn't hugely competitive, but it was good fun to play. Didn't get anywhere near the Demonic Pact Coveted Falcon combo. I mean, it's done this to my sideboard again. Let's be real, it's probably a bit too cute for a format that's as fast as Explorer. But interesting, always good to try new things. So here's the deck list one more time. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Hit those like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.